Hey everybody, Shannon here. I am going to show you a quick tutorial on how I used the ice cream cone file from Simply Crafty SVGs to turn them into Crafty Cocoa Bombs. At the end of this video, I will show you how I used my very own SVG file to make these without having to do all of this work. I made my own file from scratch yesterday, tested it out. It's a little bit different and it sits up on its own and it's just a lot easier to make. But I'm going to show you both ways, and then I'm going to link my SVG file underneath this YouTube video for you to download and give it a shot. So the first thing, I know a lot of you already went and bought it, was the ice cream cone file from Simply Crafty SVGs, and this is the file she uses. But we're only going to use the scoop and the scoop panels from her file. So I already have mine loaded up. So when you buy your SVG loaded up, you're going to insert both the scoop panels, which are brown, and the scoop itself, which is green. Now, I took the time to slice off what I didn't need off this scoop file, and basically everything from this score line down, you're not going to use. My advice, just to cut this video a lot short, is to just cut this as is and then use your scissors and cut right straight across here and then throw away all these extra tab pieces. You're not going to need them. And then it's just going to give you the bottom shape of your bowl. Now, that way you can spend most of your time working on your scoop panel for the top. So I really like this drippy chocolate effect, but it didn't have the folding tabs on the side, so I did have to slice them off of the scoop to put them onto the scoop panel. So that's where a lot of this work's going to come in. So what we're going to do first is we're going to click on the scoop, which is the green scoop, and we are going to ungroup it. And then we are going to hide those score lines. Now go ahead and click on the scoop again, and then click contour, which is in the bottom right of your screen. And you only want to work with one of these. I should mention before you do that, make sure you duplicate that scoop screen and then hide it. That way when you're working with this, you don't have to reload it. Doesn't matter, it's just that way it's there. So I have my one scoop panel, and then at this point, if you want to, I might as well just show you. You can insert a square, line it up with the bottom, because you're going to cut everything off up to that point right there, and you can slice it right off. So go ahead and hit slice. You can do that if you want to, and that way it's gone. You will have to go back and add your score line in yourself along these tabs. Just insert a score line so that it follows those tabs for folding. You're going to take your scoop panels and click ungroup. And you're just going to use one, so we'll slide these guys out of the way. And I did make mine a little bit bigger than the base because I wanted it to overlap my scoop so that it would fit on top like a lid. So I just stretched it to make it a little bit bigger. Actually, not yet. Don't stretch it yet. You're going to layer it on top, highlight everything, and hit slice. And then it might cut off an edge, so if it does that, just go back, hit undo, and try to line it up as close as you can so it doesn't slice anything extra off. It might, and it's okay. It doesn't alter the file too much. My mouse is really finicky today, so I'm going to try to get it down there. Highlight everything and hit slice. All right, so you can go ahead and delete this one right here. And you don't need this. You're really just worried about getting these pieces off. So you don't, when you slide it apart, you've got your portion. You don't need this. Delete it. All right, so I want just the panels. So you're going to click on contour again, and then you're going to click on the bottom to get rid of this, and it should leave those for you. This one's connected to this one, so we're going to go back and add that in after. So then you just grab a chocolate scoop panel from what you slid over on your screen from the other 5 that you have there, line it up, highlight everything, and click weld, and that will give you your shape. It did cut off one of my other ones, so if I just hit Control Z, I'll go back to this portion right here. So when I sliced it, it was still connected right there, so that's why that happened. So if I'm just Control Zing all the way back here, and I'm going to line it back up a little bit better just so I can show you that here. Like I said, you're not worried about anything but this. And another option, I don't think it's going to let me do it again, but we'll try. If I hit contour at the bottom, yep, now it'll let me keep them. There, I did it a little more clean. Pull back in a scoop panel, line it up best you can there so it's nice and close. Highlight everything and weld. Control Z because it didn't quite overlap right there. Try it again. It's a lot of finicking. Ooh, I don't know what Cricut did there. This is my 4th time restarting this video because I keep having glitches. So, and it's stuck again. We are seeing Cricut Design Space glitching, and it's probably not going to make for a very good video, but Design Space is glitching, but basically that'll give you your welded shape. That line won't be there. It's just a glitch. So you are going to duplicate that 6 times. Well, first you're going to add your contour line, or I'm sorry, your score line with your shapes here. So I've took the time to put in a score line, hit duplicate, and I just followed all the way along the edges of the tabs before I attached them and then duplicated them. So I'm just duplicating and adding my score lines. This is just a glitch from Design Space, that line, it won't go away. Oops. So I would do that, take your time and do it cleaner than I did. Right click everything and then click attach. And then you can duplicate and make 6 copies. Okay, so that's your scoop top. That'll be the top of your Cocoa Bomb. And then, like I said before, you can upload your base again and just cut that one as is and use your scissors to slice that one right off. Or you can do what I showed you earlier and take the time to redo the one piece and then go from there. Probably, just like I said, be easier just to use this as is and then cut everything off from there. And that is all you do. Cut it. You don't need these extra ones over here. Cut it out. Fold the tabs, glue them together. We're going to do that together. I'm going to pause this and get all my pieces out. It'll make more sense to you, I hope, then. And then we're going to do it using my file. So the SVG file that I created has a flat bottom. This one, when you make it, the bottom will have to be pushed in for this to sit flat because it comes to more of a point. So at the end, when I did this, I just pushed this in until it just kind of popped inside of itself. And so it sits nice and flat. My file already has the flat bottom, so it'll sit by itself for you. I made mine more drippy chocolate, sized it differently, so it's more of a uniform circle. So let's get to crafting. Okay, so we are going to do the crafting using my SVG file that I drew this morning in yesterday in Adobe Illustrator, and I finalized it this morning and did a run through, and everything worked great. So I'm going to share that with you. This is all you need to make the Cocoa Bombs. There's no work involved in manipulating the files. So the pink would be my bottom of my chocolate bomb, Crafty Bomb, and then the green is the top. I loaded it and then I immediately dragged, because they're grouped together, and I sized them. So I just put the peak of my pink one at the number 1, and I made sure to drag it down until it was 2.5 inches tall. And that's the sizing I used to make mine. Now what we're going to do is click on Ungroup, and then come over here and click on your Crafty Bomb and ungroup, and then click on the score lines and ungroup. So everything's separate. And the second thing we have to do is click on our score lines that say cut and turn these both into score lines. So I clicked on cut, I come to the top to line type, and I change that to score. And I'm going to do that for both of those. Okay, now we're going to highlight our green and click attach, and highlight our pink and click attach. And you need 6 copies of each. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Grab my green, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now we are ready to cut these out and make our Cocoa Bombs. So you're just going to go ahead and click on make. They're going to load up. I use 8.5 by 11 for paper, so I just kind of slide things around so that they fit. And I'm going to go cut mine and lay them all out, and we can build it together. Okay, so here are all the pieces cut out. When you go ahead and cut your file, whether you use the one I showed you how to modify from Sandy's Ice Cream, or if you download and use the file that I created of my own for you, these are what the pieces are going to look like, and it's all going to work the same from this point forward. So this is my file that I'm using. What you're going to do is you are going to first use a popsicle stick, or if you have a bone folder, to go ahead and give the paper a nice curl. So you're going to curl towards the point, and then you are going to fold along the lines like that. And you're going to do that for all of your pieces, making sure you're curling, excuse me, in the same direction. Okay, and I'm on my last piece. I just kind of skipped through the video there. Again, I just curl my piece like this to give it a nice curve and fold along the score line. And then you're going to start gluing. And my favorite glue for paper crafting, and the only glue that I can ever get work for my crafts, is art glitter glue. So this is my favorite glue. This is what I use for this with a fine point tip. It really helps get in there when you're folding and gluing. So you're going to take your first piece and you're just going to put a dab of glue. Lost my tip. Go ahead and put a dab of glue on each tab. And I'm not a professional at filming these, so I hope I'm doing okay for you guys. Feel free to comment and let me know how I'm doing, what I can do better next time, so that I can bring you guys more fun tutorials. And you're just going to go ahead and take your time and press and hold those tabs to the panel. And it looks like this on the inside. And then turn it and go to the next piece. So I'll do a few of these and then I'll pause it and show you the end result for the bottom. Little dot of glue on the tab. Have your piece ready. Go ahead and glue it. Takes a little bit of patience here to get your glue to set. And while the glue is setting, I'm constantly moving it and manipulating it a little bit to make sure it's lined up nice as it dries. I'm trying to look through my screen on my phone and see what I'm doing to make sure you guys are in view. So you're going to do that for each panel all the way around. So I'm going to pause this and get to the last panel, and then I will show you how to bring it together. Okay, so we got to the very end here, and I'm going to go ahead and glue in my last tab. So I like to hold that open as best I can. Put my tab glue on my tabs. And then take your time with this. I line up the top one first and kind of let it set for just a second. And then I work my way down. This part does take a little bit of patience and a little bit of manipulating here. Just keep squeezing them and sliding the paper. The art glitter glue is great because it doesn't set immediately. You got a little bit of time as it's setting to work with it, and it just makes it so easy for paper crafting. And then before you know it, it's set and not moving and everything's good. So now you have to glue the final tab to your end there. And it's going to look kind of like a little umbrella, and that'll be the bottom of your cocoa bomb. So letting that sit good. I don't want to pull on it too hard just yet, but I am going to go ahead and put the glue on my tabs. This is where the fine tip of the art glitter glue works great, because you can reach right in there and put it on. And then I start with the top, and I'm just going to press that down and hold it and do tab by tab, using all my fingers to press and hold those tabs in there. This does take practice, so don't get frustrated with yourself if you can't quite get it to work the first time. And I think that's pretty well set. I usually drag the excess glue right along the line, and there's our bottom of our cocoa bomb. Everything looks great, and there's a little hole for threading, which I'll show you how to do that. And ta-da! So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing with these top panels. I will pause, put this together. I'll show you the end gluing there, and I'll show you how they fit together. Okay, I got it almost glued together. We're going to go ahead and glue this last final side together. And then we'll put it on top of our cocoa base, Crafty Bomb base. And see how it looks. I ran out of brown paper because I've been trial and erroring my file all day yesterday and this morning to get it perfect. So we're going to call this one a strawberry vanilla with the red and white theme for Valentine's Day. All right, that's pretty well set. Kind of looks like a little umbrella. Very cute. And then here's the bottom. And then you go ahead and put it right onto the top. And there you have your Cocoa Bomb. Oops, adorable and works perfect if I'm not throwing it around. And I'll show you how you can keep these together. So just to show you, it has the flat bottom. You don't actually have to push in on this style. It will stay up on its own instead of rolling all around. There's a pinhole in the bottom and a pinhole in the top that I made sure to leave in my file so that you could string some thread through and then tie a knot in the bottom and then string it right through the top so that you can tie it together when it's hooked together, and it'll keep your Cocoa Bomb right together for you. And then when you open it, it'll stay together. So I came up with that idea to keep these from falling apart when you want to mail or gift them. Just tie that off and then you can decorate and embellish and do whatever you like with them. I hope you enjoy these. I hope my tutorial was okay. I did my very best for you guys. It's my first one. I'm not used to doing these things, so I hope you give it a try and have fun. Let me know what you come up with. I'd love to see your final Crafty Bomb results and what you come up with. So this is the chocolate. We'll call this one strawberry vanilla. Thank you guys so much, and happy crafting.